We are going to do a Maha comparison of probably the top four health insurance products in the industry. I'm going to talk about a product from ICICI, one from Tata, one from HDFC, and one from Niva. And we will see which product stands out. I am a hardcore believer that everybody should have a health insurance for themselves outside of what their employer has provided. Just simply because the employer insurance is created considering employer's budget in mind. They are not created considering your needs. I will tell you more about why you should not have depend on your employer's insurance and why you should just have a personal insurance later in the video. Folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Niraj and I talk about personal finance and credit cards on this channel. I am an owner of Holistic Prime Wealth Private Limited. So let's move on and I'll share my screen and we'll start the discussion. Before we start the discussion, folks, understand that these are not recommendations. This is just a knowledge sharing session. If you are interested in getting a personal health insurance, reach out to me and I'll help you get one, right? That's what we do for all our clients in Holistic Prime Wealth as well. Now let us move on. I'll start sharing my screen and start seeing which products are probably the good ones. All right. So this is, just the first page of the presentation. We'll move to the second page of the presentation. Now here you can see I have put in the four products. We are talking about HDFC Optima Secure, Tata Medicare Premier, ICICI Elevate, and Niva Bupa ReAssure 2.0 Titanium Plus. So the first, we will go step by step and I will talk about each feature, right? But the idea is that, anytime you talk about a health insurance product, the product should be comprehensive in itself, basically meaning that, whenever you are hospitalized, the out-of-pocket expenses from your pocket, so any money that you pay from your pocket should be less than 5% of the total hospital bill. That is the whole idea when I talk about health insurance products and when I, recommend it to my clients, right? So room rent limit is basically, they will say that, you cannot stay in a room of more than 1% of sum insured. Generally, this is a limit which is seen in employer policies, right? So why don't you open your employer policy and see what is the room rent limit? As we, discuss these different features, compare it with your employer policies and see what is the feature provided by your employer and is it making sense or not, and comment and tell me what is the feature of your employer policy. We'll discuss this, right? So first is the room rent limit, right? So room rent limit, there should not be any room rent limit at all. Basically, if you are admitted in a room which costs 20,000 rupees per month, the insurance should pay for the entire bill, right? But when you stay in a room, say, which can say that, say, single private AC room, say, for example, in ICICI Element, it's a single private AC room. You have an option to upgrade, but if you're staying in a room which is single private AC room, what's going to happen is, if you stay in a room which costs 20,000 rupees, but the limit of single private AC room is only 10,000 rupees, the 50% of the total bill will get waived off. So if your hospital bill is 5 lakh rupees, the insurer will only pay 2.5 lakh rupees. That's why it becomes very important that, you buy a policy without any room rent limit. So up to some insured means there is no room rent limit at all. ICICI Elevate gives you an option to upgrade. So if we're considering ICICI Elevate, better to, upgrade and, move to a no room rent limit policy. Pre and post hospitalization cover basically means that, when you get discharged from any sort of hospitalization, right? Number of days before the hospitalization and after the hospitalization, you will incur expenses in the form of doctor fees, consultations, you will, spend the money on diagnostics and so on, right? All of those things are also generally reimbursable. So ideally, you should look at a policy which gives you at least 60 days pre-hospitalization cover and 180 days post-hospitalization cover. So all these four give you that. Tata gives you 60 and 90 days if the sum insured is less than 75 lakhs. But if the sum insured is more than 75 lakhs, they give you 60 and 200 days. So my personal policy is from Tata, wherein it's a 1 crore policy. So I have 60 and 200 days of cover. Daycare treatment. So, daycare treatment is generally not understood by people, right? So daycare treatment basically means that if you, there are a lot of treatments which would take more than 24 hours earlier. Right now, those treatments take less than 24 hours. It can be, say, dialysis, for example, chemotherapy, right? So these treatments are also covered in your insurance policies. And the list is very, very long, actually. So you can check the list for the respective policies in the policy wording. So daycare treatment is covered in all the four products. Now let us move to the next page. Domiciliary treatment. Domiciliary treatment means hospitalization at home. This may happen when hospitals are overcrowded, right? That time you may need to take hospitalization at home, or you need a long-term hospitalization, but you don't want to stay in the hospitalization. Doctor can recommend staying at home and setting up a mini hospital at home. So this was seen previously in COVID, where a lot of people were hospitalized at home. So this is also covered in all the four products till sum insured. Organ donor, say if you have to, take an organ from somebody else, right? So expenses incurred for that organ donor will also be covered in this policy. Modern treatments, something like surgeries done by robots, right? These things fall in modern treatments. Only in Niva Bupa, there is a 1 lakh limit in modern treatments, sub-limit of 1 lakh rupees. But all others will cover modern treatment up to the sum insured. No claim bonus. Again, no claim bonus is something which people consider it as a very, very important feature. I personally, recommend anybody to buy a health insurance for the sum insured they need. You should not be dependent on no claim bonus. Okay. So HDFC Optima Secure, all these four products have different no claim bonuses. Let me take some time and explain this to you. HDFC Optima Secure will give you, the moment you purchase this policy, right, the sum insured will become 2x. So if you have, purchased a 10 lakhs policy, it will become 20 lakh rupees immediately on purchase. And if you don't make a claim in the first 2 years, this will become 4x. So 10 lakhs will become 40 lakh rupees. Over and above that, you will also get 50% per year of no claim bonus on the base sum insured up to 100%. Tata Medicare, it's a simple product, 50% no claim bonus per year up to 100%. ICICI Elevate, they don't call it no claim bonus, they call it loyalty bonus. And, once accrued, this loyalty bonus will not come down. So if you bought a 10 lakhs policy, every year 2 lakh rupees will get added and your sum insured will get increased by that amount. It will not come down. Niva Bupa ReAssure 2.0 has two different products. So in Niva Bupa ReAssure, they have platinum, bronze, and titanium, right? So in bronze, there is a 100% no claim bonus. Titanium is 1000%, and in platinum is 500%. So what does it mean? Every year you don't make a claim in titanium, it will go up by 100% every year. So if you bought a 10 lakh rupees policy, it will, increase by 100% every year up to 1000%. So if you 10 years don't make a claim, it will go up to 1 crore rupees. So HDFC special bonus we've already discussed. I'll not discuss it again. Next is the restore benefit. Restore benefit basically means that when you take a policy and you've gotten hospitalized, right? So you bought a 10 lakh rupees cover and you got hospitalized. You exhausted 8 lakh rupees in the first hospitalization itself. Now, if you want to get hospitalized again, okay, so restoration basically means that the insurer will restore the limit again back to 10 lakh rupees and you can, use the full 10 lakh rupees. So if you can see, HDFC says full plus partial restore once per policy year for related and unrelated illnesses. So basically, in the second claim, it can be a related illness, unrelated illness, doesn't matter, you will get once per year. Tata also says the same thing. And also once per year. ICICI, says that, full plus partial restore available. This is unlimited number of times, right? And same for Niva, unlimited number of times. Even Tata is unlimited number of times. And only in HDFC they have once. Okay, Tata also it's one. So this is the difference in restore benefit. I personally, I'm not a fan of restore benefit because the industry itself has not yet seen how the restore benefits work practically. So we'll have to see over time as the industry evolves, we'll know. So initial waiting period means basically that if you bought a policy, right, first 30 days, nothing is covered except for accident. This is standard across all insurance companies, so it does not change. Pre-existing disease waiting period basically means that if you have already diagnosed with some disease, then there will be a waiting period for that disease, right? Say you are diagnosed with diabetes. So for first 3 years or 2 years, you will not be able to get a treatment. But Tata, ICICI and Niva, all three have a benefit as have an add-on wherein you can, take that add-on and, cover certain things from the 31st day, which is diabetes, BP, asthma, cholesterol. These four things are generally covered by the insurers from the first year itself, but you'll have to pay a higher premium. Specific treatment waiting period. Okay, this is a very interesting waiting period, folks. So this is standard 24 months across all insurers. But if you think about it, earlier what people used to do, they would get, say, knee replacement needs to be done or cataract needs to be done. What they would do, they would go and buy a health insurance and then immediately make a claim. So health insurers understood that people are gaming the system, right? That's why they put up a cap on this. I mean, they have put up a waiting period on this, and there is a good list of treatments that you cannot take. I'm putting it up on the screen. Cataract is included, knee replacement, appendix, these kind of things are included. Co-payment basically means that, any, say the policy can say 10% co-payment, right? Check your employer's policy again. If it says 10% co-payment, which means that the bill is 100 rupees, 10 rupees has to be paid by you and balance will be paid by insurer, right? So try to buy a policy without any co-payment. All the four products do not have a co-payment. Health checkup is also something that people, love to have in their policies. HDFC, the maximum health checkup cover is very, very low in this, 2,000 for individuals, 5,000 in floater. Tata Medicare Premier, it's available cashless also and non-cashless also. It's inbuilt in the product. So there are different limits and tiers in this. If you have a policy of up to 75 lakh rupees, 10,000 rupees is the limit. Beyond that, 20,000 and so on. ICICI Elevate, it's an optional cover. You have to pay extra premium for this. 5,000 is the maximum cover. Niva, it's already included. 5,000 is the maximum cover for individuals and 10,000 for floater policies. Non-medical expenses cover is very, very important, guys. Basically, gloves, PPE kits, oxygen masks, these things are generally not covered in your insurance policy. So make sure that you have this included in any insurance that you buy. It is, covered, optional cover in HDFC, Tata Medicare, it's already covered. ICICI Elevate, it's optional. Niva, it's already also optional. HDFC, as far as I remember, it's not optional. I'll put it up in the screen, but you have to definitely make sure that it's covered. Maternity is covered by default in Tata up to 50,000 rupees and 60,000 rupees for girl child, but there is going to be a 4 years waiting period. HDFC and Niva does not cover. Niva has a separate product called Niva Aspire, which covers maternity if you're looking into that. ICICI Elevate covers, you have to buy it as an add-on, but the premiums will go up significantly. Premium will almost double in ICICI, so I will not prefer it. Generally, for maternity, I recommend that you use the employer's cover because that is what works best. You can't really buy insurance for any sort of planned claims, right? Health insurance come business. It is a for-profit business. Do not, take it for granted. Road ambulance, air ambulance, air ambulance is optional in HDFC Secure and ICICI Elevate. It's covered up to 2.5 lakhs in Niva and up to 5 lakhs in Tata and so on. Road ambulance is also covered. Tata has limits of 5,000 up to 50 lakhs sum insured. Global cover basically, for any sort of global treatments. HDFC covers for 1 crore and above option. It's again optional in HDFC. Tata by default covers. The mandate is that the diagnosis should happen in India, and then you can take a claim outside India. ICICI also covers, but it's an optional add-on, right? I generally don't recommend. Why will you go outside to take any sort of treatment when everything is very, very good in India, right? So, folks, I guess this is the end of the video. A couple of more things that I want to tell you. ICICI Elevate also gives you a credit score based discount, right? So if your credit score is very, very good, then you should also look at ICICI Elevate because you will get almost 15% discount. And Niva Bupa ReAssure 2.0 Titanium also has another feature wherein once you've paid the premium, right, the premium will be frozen till you make your first claim. So what does this mean? Say, for example, you are 30 years old and you paid 30,000 rupees as your premium. You don't make a claim for the next 10 years. The premium, if the company has not revised the premiums for a person of 30 years of age, your premium will not increase when you turn 36 years old. Your premium will only change if the company revises the premium for somebody who is 30 years old, right? But if you don't make a claim and company does not changes the price chart, your premium will not go up. So that is also a good feature to consider, but it also makes the product also very expensive, right? So be mindful of that. Folks, I hope you learned a lot from this video. Like I said in the beginning, if you want to, buy a health insurance, reach out to us and sharing my email in the details below. And also, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.